Hello, Squareplane here again, and Redminers made a video about a really small lights out yesterday, and it's really amazing. As you can see, it's really small. Like this pad here is mostly his design, but when I saw it I thought that's a really nice design, but there can be some improvements to it. So now it has got, as you can see on the right, a turn tracker which tracks how much turns you have done, and also once you've started it'll track your time. And another feature that I included is it detects when you won the game, so it'll actually say something, and it also got some credits. Originally designed by Redsminers, and improvements done by me. And in here is the tracker if you won the game, and a reset. So after you won the game, you can press the reset button. Everything will turn on. Time will stop. Turns reset, and once you do your first turn, time will start again. And you can just reset it. But I'll show you what happens if you finish the game. So I'm almost completing the game here. So what happens if you complete the game? It's completed now, all the lights are out, and it says well done, you completed the puzzle, yay! And you can see your final scores at the right of the screen. That's true. You can see the time and the turns, they have stopped, and of course that's not my real my real score. I just cheated a bit because I have to say I really suck at this game, hate this game and everything. Well, the redstoning is nice, but I just suck at this. I hate it. But then, when you're done and you want to start again, reset your game back to 0, and you're good to go again. So, how does this work? So, the first thing I'm going to explain you is the turn tracker. The turn tracker is just a command block that I included right here, which sets scoreboard of turns on statistics. So it pretends that the player's name is turns. Of course it isn't, but it just makes a nice display. So it puts this number at the right here. If you can see my mouse, it adds 1 to that if you step on a plate. But before there was like, oops, there was quartz here, but I just put a carpet on top because there is a pressure plate here, so it is this height. It is, as you can see, 4 high because there's a pressure plate here. So for the height it would make no difference putting a carpet up here. So, and it still looks good, right? So that's the first part of the scoreboard. So now I'm going to strip down this a bit, and I'll show you what is in there. So for the turn tracker, everything is inside of this thing, but behind here is just some other stuff that I'm now going to show you. So here it is. I just basically removed the cover. So this is what it looks like. A lot of command blocks. It are a lot of different parts, but I'll go over them one by one. I'll start with timing. It's really easy. These two hoppers here are just a hopper clock, turning this on and off, and that checks if there is someone with a turn value of at least 1. So they have at least one turn done, so they must have started the game. And if that's right, then it will turn on this second hopper clock, which will add 1 to the time. But to test if there is a player in the game with a turn score of at least 1, we need to have a valid player in the world, because what we did to put this at the side, the statistic, the turns that you can see, that scoreboard, to put that there, we added 1 to the player called turns, who isn't really there, if you can get me. We added 1 to player turns, so that it would say turns 1 and not square plane 1, because that's not what we want the turns to be 1. But we can test if turns is higher than 1, or at least I don't know a way, because turns is not a valid player in this world. So what I actually did, I also added another scoreboard called hidden turns, and it's not displayed anywhere, but it is there. It's basically the same as the normal turns, but it's a separate scoreboard for just the turns, and that is connected to your name, to add A to everybody, so to real players, so we can test for that. Well, don't mind about that, but we can test for that, and that's exactly what we're looking for here. We're testing for a real player having a score of hidden turns of at least 1, and then it'll turn the time to 1, and it'll also set hidden time to 1. And the reason for that is, let's see, I had a reason for that. Well, we'll get to that later. Now the next part I want to show you is the reset. If you press this big lump, like it's separated right here and right here, so it's this piece of command blocks is gonna get powered, this layer. So what happens here is, first it sets the turns on this board to 0, so the display board sets to 0, and it also sets the hidden turns to 0, because we had those two. So this hidden turns will be 0, so the clock of the time will stop. And then a bit after that, after the clock has stopped, to give it a little delay for the clock to stop, we're setting the hidden time and the displayed time to 0, so it displays 0 at our screen. And then this big square right here is basically, it sets a block, actually the block right here, this block isn't needed, the block right here for every pixel to a quartz block. And if you've seen Redsminers video, a quartz block here means that the light is on, so every light will be on. And the reason there is no redstone here, like you would think, I'll put a redstone here, but this will power this command block, which we want on a delay, but then it will just be immediately powered, but we don't want that. But this command block right here is actually being powered instantly because of this. Yeah, it's powering it diagonally. So that is the reset part. So now the next part is the part where it will say, well done, you've completed the game, and then stop the clock and the turns and everything, so you can see your end score. But how this works, it just tests for a block, and it's actually this block again with a torch on it. It tests if this is a redstone block, and if this is actually a redstone block, that means that this light will be off, and it does that for all of these. So if they're all off, that'll give an output like you can see here. If that is a redstone block, so that means the light is off, this will turn on, this will turn off, this torch. So when this whole lane is off, they're basically just all the pixels connected to each other. These whole lanes are all off. Then this will turn off. This is the exit lane. This torch will turn on, which will make these two torches turn off again. And this delay is here to see if you're not like it will, if you have like all empty but one square in, like this one is off but this one is on actually, but the rest is off, and you step on it, the middle one here is going to turn on and off, I mean, and these four are going to turn on. So you have switched from 1 on to 4 on, and you haven't beaten the game, but that mechanism will just give a short output through here. So this is just to see if the output is not short. And so if you have beaten it long enough for like this is almost a second, so if it's almost a second at the all lights off state, this torch will come on, and that will just say, well done, you completed the puzzle. And then here, after a little bit of delay, it'll say you can now see the final score at the right of the screen, and it'll also right here set the hidden turns to 0. And we know what it does. The timer here tests for hidden turns higher than 1. So that will stop the clock, and you can see your time, your ending time, and your ending turns. And changing these hidden turns to 0 doesn't matter for the display, because you can't see the hidden turns because they're hidden, of course. So the last two things I included are these letters here, and you can see the levers here. I just made a little sign. But the last thing, I included some credits. If you press this, there's just a command block behind it that says originally design done by Redsminers and improvements done by Square Plane. Well, Redsminers, if you're watching this, I really like your videos, and you're making great content, and I definitely love your videos. So this is not like to bully you for making a bad video. This is more like saying that's a nice design, I can use that. That's exactly what I did, but I just added some bulk to it. It looks really ugly now with this bulk here, but it's more functional now. I hope you like that I make this video comment, and thank you for watching. You can play this yourself. The map download will be in the description. Maybe not immediately. I think it will be like next day or something, because I have tried really hard to get this video out, and I actually need to go sleep now, but I need to edit everything, so I'll take 1.5 extra hour. I don't care. So thank you for watching. Please rate and subscribe and comment, of course, if you like it. But this has been Square Plane with a reaction to Redsminers, Redsminers, keep up the great work. Thank you for watching, man. Bye bye.